If George Weah was somebody who prayed for people down for, Joseph Boakai would have died ever since. Tell there is still body laying out somewhere in a grave, and his writing self passing around, and we have never ever remembered that he ever existed in this country. But Weah does not care about that. He said, look, now they are party thing that they are all down there, let them be on it. As thing as Joseph Boakai was, and then sick and ready to die, George Weah did not care. He said, no, it doesn't matter whether they are political opponents or whatever it is, let's leave it as dates. Just leave these people alone. Let them go on. That they are party politics between them without getting anything to do inside. And we don't want to be seen or having that appearance that we are inside. We don't want to. George Weah does not care. Joseph Boakai is a classic example of what I'm talking. You know that old man was a wreck already. When I mean wreck, very dirty, very terrible. That's the kind of person he was. Dying. Urinating, defecating on himself, passing all over the place. Yes, he had to take one young boy who he see as his competitor, but George Weah doesn't see him as a competitor and sees him as a father and said, no matter what it is, this man deserves to live. So if George Weah can do that, then at our party headquarters, George Weah was very caring about. No, George Weah didn't care about that. George Weah believed that the energy that we can exert, it goes towards development. Let me focus on how I can deliver for the people. They're thinking about how one party moving from headquarters and going, so it doesn't matter. Because what I know will speak for me is what I do for the people. It's not who I take from party headquarters. It's not how I brought my opponents down that will make the people to vote me. It is what I'm doing for them that impacting them that is which they will look at and say they will vote me. It's not on the basis of what I step on my opponents, I trash them down. That's how people will vote for me. People who put me in power, they didn't put me in power for me to come step on my opponents and trash them down. That is not what they will measure my performance by. That is not what they will measure my performance by. My performance will be measured by what I have done for them. So, why are you not living in a party? What about it? It's not my business. Just leave that. Let us focus on the job the people gave us. Jeremiah Coon, this one I will say it clearly. The justice minister had gone to tell Jeremiah Coon and so forth and say, you are the one now in charge. Can we give these people some time so that they can vacate the place? Jeremiah Coon said no. And it was in that meeting that Jeremiah Coon called Gregory Coleman and told him before in the morning 5, I don't want to see CDC down there. They contracted the yellow machines. They did the demolition. That nonsense that they're talking, passing around, they carried out the demolition. All they wanted to do was to use the coat hands. All they wanted to do was to use the coat hand, and they succeeded in using the coat hand. They succeeded in it. They used the judiciary. All they wanted is, look, we just want small thing, just the court just gave us, let us just use what the court will say, and did it. And that's what they did today. But fortunately for the CDC, they received a call for their political leader. When he saw the tension building up, he's also, he doesn't sleep. So he's on social media, seeing the tension building up, and he told them, say, I'll leave. Let them break it.